Someone asked an interesting question about how to handle negative feedback. So let's say you're doing, for example, door-to-door selling, and you ring a doorbell, someone opens the door. I remember this happening actually. And the guy starts telling me that I should be ashamed of, ringing people's doorbells and that selling isn't a real profession, and I'm probably a scammer, I should be in jail. And he got all emotional about it. I'm not talking about crying, but he got angry and mad. And what you'll notice, I've had this earlier in life. These days it doesn't influence me as much. But back then, when someone gets emotional, it sort of leaves this residue. It's sticky somehow. Your mammal brain, like your inner ape, recognizes, holy shit, something is going on. I'm probably causing this. Did I do something wrong? I must have done something wrong. And you take it seriously. It's also why people cry to get their way, or why people, freak out to get their way, why people yell and scream. So I do understand, it's not easy. It sort of moves something inside of you. What you want to do, what I did with this person, I just smiled, wished him a good day, and I left. I didn't start arguing. I didn't, got dragged into the yelling and the screaming like a toddler. I didn't start justifying my existence because I didn't care. Okay, bye, Mr. Insane person. I don't care. Have fun being insane. Because when you leave their doorstep, they're still the people that get upset because someone rings their doorbell. Imagine being that mentally weak, that frail, that you get into a shouting match with someone that rings your doorbell. Unbelievable. And you're still you, so you're way better off. At least you're not a moron. I remember a woman calling me up, and I found out that this was the mom of one of my clients, and the client was involved in a divorce, and the woman goes off on me for 50 seconds or a minute, saying how evil of a human being I was for the fact that I was selling the house. And she went on and on and on, and you couldn't get a word in. And when she was done, she hung up the phone. And I just sat there with the phone in my hand, think what happened. Now, if you're a human being, at some level of your psyche, you're going to think, did I do something wrong? Was I the asshole here? Should I keep doing this? And that's a very dangerous instinct, because let's put it like this. Greta Thunberg, remember her? The child said, how dare you? I should be in school. The reason that people bought into that is because here's a child and she's obviously emotional. Obviously something has happened. And entire groups of people immediately turn off their brain because here's a child and she's obviously upset, and now there must be something that correct what she's saying. Now this is a child. She doesn't know anything about anything. No one should be listen to her. She doesn't know anything. But because she's a child, because there's emotion, people listen to her. And I don't want you to fall into the same trap. Now I also don't want you to be some American Psycho, Patrick Bateman psychopath. That's not what I want you to be. I just want you to look at the situation and make sure that you're still using your, prefrontal cortex, your human brain, not your mammal brain thinking, oh my God, there's emotion. Something must be wrong. I have to do. No, you don't have to do anything. You just look at the situation and you treat it with whatever the situation calls for. Another simple example, I used to do a lot of direct mail, in the sense that you actually send mail to people, right? And whenever you send out a mailing, you get a few complaints. Now in real estate, what I used to do, I used to have one geographic area, like a zip code area, and I would, send these people mailings every 2 weeks, for example. And if you do that, eventually a couple people file a complaint saying, oh, it's spam, or you shouldn't put this in my mailbox or whatever. And some of these people, because they have so little to do, apparently, they have so much time, they get really upset. They say, well, I'm going to call the police because you sent me mail. The weirdest shit happens. And I remember one of my colleagues saying, oh man, I got like 8 complaints this time. I think I should, do less mail? And it was the dumbest possible thing, because those people were never going to be clients anyway. They're miserable wretches and, people that actually complain about stuff. So be happy. Scratch them from your list and keep on going, because their opinion doesn't matter. The only opinion that matters is the people that give you money or can give you money in the future. These people would never have done that, so who cares? Who cares? If you get negative feedback from someone you respect, someone you admire, someone that is higher up in life and whose opinion you value, you take it in stride. So you take it, find out like what is the actual content, and you take that with you. And if you get feedback from someone you don't know, or some anonymous person, or someone you don't admire, or a regular normie, you just smile and say thank you and move on with your day, and you let it slide off you like water from a duck's back. That's the way to handle this sort of stuff. Don't let it sort of emotionally jolt you. That's not the way. I know it's not easy, but keep this in mind and start thinking with your human brain. Don't let emotions sway you from whatever you have to do.